Hello, and welcome to my research presentation. Um, I decided to go the route of writing about the gods and just their kind of interaction within the Greek and Roman epics. My current thesis is the role of the gods in Greek and Roman epics was similar to that of a puppeteer creating the story as they go. Their near constant interference in the lives of the heroes created trials which caused their journeys to be more difficult than necessary. Um, this thesis came to mind because I, I felt like when I was reading the epics that the gods were just kind of too involved with stuff. They often, I felt like they were often kind of almost in a mocking way in some cases, especially in, I want to say it was the Aeneid. Aeneid. I'm probably butchering that name. Um, but pretty much this interference that they cause or that they have um, really messed with the heroes and their journeys as well as kind of played with their fate a little bit. I think about specifically Odysseus after he, you know, well, just throughout the whole Odyssey, how Poseidon just has it out for Odysseus and really causes him a lot of trouble, but especially after Odysseus blinds Polyphemus. Um, because Poseidon comes up and creates this huge storm, right? And it causes Odysseus and his men to go farther away from home. This is a situation of, where the interference really did cause um, a longer journey when it shouldn't have. And granted, I understand um, Poseidon's anger. However, I don't think he had the right to interfere in that way. Um, there's also the aspect of in the Aeneid um, when they can't remember who it was, but the god stopped um, one of the gentlemen from dying right away towards the end, so that they could see a longer fight and see how it would play out. But his fate was not escaped. In that sense, it just seemed like the lives of the heroes and the people involved were seen as more of an entertainment to the gods, and so it just really gave me this sense of these gods are just playing with these people, like they're in a sense a puppeteer, like they're kind of messing with the story as it goes. They're changing outcomes, they're lengthening the story, stuff like that. Now there are a couple articles that I have found. Still reading through them because there's quite a bit, but a couple that I did like. One is called Gods, Men, and Their Gifts. It's a comparison of the Iliad, Odyssey, Aeneid, and even Paradise Lost, which I know we haven't read. And it's by Paul Anderson. I found it on the school's website, on the library website, and pretty much it talks about the gods and their interactions with men, but as well, it also brings up what gifts the gods give to the men and how that impacts the story and how it impacts the outcome of things like the battles and fates and destinies of certain people. And kind of discusses why some gifts are given to some people and why there are other heroes that there are other gods that are just like, no, we're not giving you anything, right? It's almost kind of like the gods have their favorite teams. Sorry to bring up sports, but it's like the gods have their favorite teams, and they're rooting for one, and they refuse to help the other, right? Um, it's There's another article that I'm really starting to like too, and it's also this article is kind of making me think a little bit differently about my thesis as well. Like the current thesis I have is just what I initially came up with, but this specific article may or may not revise my thesis a little bit coming up. But this article is called "The Gods in the Aeneid," or Aeneid, and it's by Robert Coleman. Um, and pretty much he talks about how gods and men are a lot closer to each other in these epics, and he starts talking about how the gods are more of an explanation for the reader. And let me explain what he means by that. It talks about how the natural disasters, or for example, like the storm that took Odysseus far away from his land, it's explained that Poseidon is the one who caused the storm, but in reality, Poseidon is just a way to explain how the storm came to be. But it's really just an explanation for the natural disasters. So it kind of makes you wonder, okay, is it really the gods treating the people like they're puppets, or is it something different than that? Um, One of the lines says that the gods manipulate the external world and influence human reactions and decisions internally. So, this manipulation of the external world is like the natural disasters and stuff like that, whereas the internal uh, um, influence that these humans are feeling or even thinking about tend to come in the form of like visions or dreams. And it's said to come from the gods to kind of tell them what they need to do. Um, so far, the research is going great. I'm definitely learning a lot, and I'm definitely kind of revising as I go. Um, but I'm interested to learn more about the gods and their interactions with people in the Aeneid, Iliad, and the Odyssey, and those epics, and just what the whole point of them is. Um, but anyway, that is my research proposal. Or not proposal, but presentation. I hope that you enjoyed, and I hope I didn't bore you too much. I look forward to seeing your guys's and writing this research paper. All right, have a great night.